Marana examined herself thoughtfully. Pale blue skin covered in patches of pearlescent scales that glittered like gems in the sunlight. Her hair was currently a dark navy, held back by thin, like ears. She thought she looked quite like the Queen's Fae, Joseph, but that was the goal, to look similar, to give off the impression of a water fae. But she shook the expression of deep thought off her face. Marana was supposed to be bubbly and relaxed, easy to trust and like, because she was silly, fun, and sympathetic. She had been in her keeper's family for generations and had begun to genuinely care for them when her current keeper died of shadowling poison. Now she was lost in the Cold Empire, trying to make it back to Andrathis. She still hadn't settled on an animal form for Marana that wasn't immediately giant poisonous snake with wings. She needed something cute, with mass appeal, after all. She pulled herself from her ruminations once more as a small spider crept into her vision, silver shining body, awed in the middle of the path as it stood on its back two legs and waved up at her. She scooped the creature up and placed him on her shoulder, close to her ear, before speaking. "It's not like you to send messengers so far away from your forest, Sylvis. Are you in need of something?" Her voice was high-pitched and a little squeaky now. The low, hissing noise came from her new friend before a voice could finally be heard from it. "What are you going by in this form?" "Marana." "The ocean spirit? Isn't that a little out of your wheelhouse?" "I wanted a challenge, but really, you didn't come all the way out here to talk about my newest disguise." "No, I suppose not. How long would it take for you to get near the groves?" "A day if I pushed it. Why?" "The prophecy." "Already?" "It's what my foreseer told me. They'll be under the Moradal by the end of Astral Nights." "You want my help, then?" "Despite what the forest dwellers seem to think, I'm not omniscient. Besides, you're not the only one getting involved on my behest." "Then what's the plan, little mastermind?" "I have plenty of horrors in my web that can make things go our way to begin with. I'll just need some help with the physical guidance. I have no plans on leaving my nest anytime soon." "Okay, then. Where do you want me to be?" "Really? Just like that." "Just like that, bugaboo. Size, it ain't like I've got many other plans. I'm not you." "But you want nothing in return?" "I wouldn't say that, little spider. I just know you'll agree to my terms." "Oh." "No putting kingmakers into your web. You'll have to ensorcel them the old-fashioned way." "I can do that." "Exactly. So it's a win-win. I get something to do, you get another pretty little pawn, and the kingmakers get some more experienced guides." "You're not a pawn, Marana," said the spider to the fly. "Anyway, just tell me where I need to be to intercept them." And Sylvis gave her the directions as she skipped on. She knew he'd collect other fae to do his bidding on this kingmaker thing, but she didn't really care. All she could think about was what her next costume would be and how exactly she would win their trust. Should she even be a fae when approaching them? Oh, there was a world of possibilities, and she was ready for all of them.
It's a magical, mystical time. It's anecdotal adventures.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of City of Mist Kingmakers. I'm your Master of Ceremonies, Ashley, and these are my players.
I'm Cassidy, and I'm playing Matthias, the Rift of Typhon.
Tele, and I am playing Adalaie Ponteva, the Rift of
Nemesis.
I am Sonya. I'm playing Emma, the Rift of Athena.
I'm Juno. I'm playing Jane, the Rift of Hera.
Hello, I'm Simon. I'm playing Aron Frankel, whose rift is King David.
And unfortunately, Selena is in a bad spot when it comes to Wi-Fi, so she will not be joining us today. So when we last left off, our group of heroes met up with Mary Kate Autumn, Jasper, and Layla before arriving in the fort town of Ironhaven, where they made a split-second decision. A rash choice, one might say, for Matthias to become the keeper of the Fae Katalina. And we will pick right up where we left off, with everyone in the basement area of the tower, right after the binding ritual has been completed. You're all making these faces at me that say a lot of things, but this is an audio medium, so you need to express your emotions vocally.
Okay. So,
And Emma, you're still muted if you're speaking.
Not.
Oh, yikes.
Yes,
Well, how exactly was this ritual performed, I guess?
Johnny performed the binding. It seemed like a pretty simple ritual to you all.
Or so
No
someone
fancy
experienced
flying
doing it.
And Catalina is currently still in the corner with Adalaie, having a slight freak out moment, being like, I voted to a kingmaker, what? Bah! And various versions of that.
I wonder how our Kingmaker magic will affect how the Fae is able to use their magic.
what would happen if we went home?
Would the Fae come with us? Would we be introducing Fae to the Earth?
Because if we leave her without a different master and we go home, she won't have a source of magic if she doesn't come with us.
Well, from what we understand that was explained to us by Cades, is like when humans use magic, they take it from the tangle, they cut it out of the tangle. But when we use magic, we tap into the tangle without destroying it. It's just how the rift magic works. So,
yeah.
That's all.
Maybe we should try to get to know Katalina more if she's gonna be your nanny, did you say?
She's gonna be whatever she wants to be.
That's what you call her.
This was essentially a life-saving procedure. That's it.
With consequences.
With consequences.
Serious
All procedures have consequences to some degree.
This one was different ones than normal.
So basically the Fae are in one side of the room having like a huddle, and you guys are in another side of the room having a huddle.
We should go find food.
Do we know if she had any part of the murder?
From what I understand, it was her magic used, but she didn't do it.
Yeah.
So she was essentially taken advantage of and used as a weapon.
Especially if she was binded to him, then she wouldn't have the free will to disagree.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. We're gonna have to make sure that we don't. That would make sure that she actually has what passes as free will, at least.
Mm-hmm.
What passes as free will? That is the
worst
way I have ever heard it put.
As much free will as we can give her in this circumstance.
All the free will. We just don't order her around.
I think there's some magic binding there that kind of prevents some.
I mean, maybe a little bit. Like, we do our best? That, and
we
now
do
we have
our
a
best.
tool. We have a tool to work on breaking the binding.
Yeah.
But if you break the binding, then
working on breaking the binding without one of us dying.
Yeah.
Okay.
From what I understand, the way to break the binding is like I would die. I'm not all about that. So, but now we have a way to work on like other ways to break the binding. And like give her real free will, not this fabricated crap that we're coming up with.
I think she would still be bonded Faye. Even if we broke the binding, she'd still.
Anyone work with bindings?
What?
Does anyone know another rift that can work with bindings, like have influence over other people?
Mara?
Yeah, but that was
Influence over other people, yes, but breaking bindings, no.
we need the rift of the breaker of chains. We need a Khaleesi.
Binding would be the one with influence over people.
I wonder if it's a mental bond, if it's in your mind.
It probably has something to do with the magic, right? Because Fae have been told that they're integrally part of the tangle.
Yeah.
And then if they are hey, we're essentially holding your magic ransom, and if you do something wrong, I'm assuming that some magical consequence will face, or maybe they physically cannot.
Because part of it was to make it so they couldn't harm the humans.
True.
Anymore,
yeah.
Well, that didn't work.
Yeah. Doesn't work when humans are harming humans as well, using the Fae.
I feel like this, like I've said before, the cycle of violence that we're seeing in this world, we don't know much about it, but it feels very reminiscent of all of our world's history, kind of just compacted.
Yeah. That is true. And I wonder if our purpose here is clearly to stop that cycle of violence somehow.
Or to try to stop it.
Well, guys know what would be ironic?
What?
Our job is to be well, Althara will rise and be strong or fall. But what if if Althara rises, it's gonna be a total totalitarian and horrible and destroy everyone's lives everywhere. Or we could make this country fall and it makes this whole planet or universe a better place.
If I start to see that happen, I can assure you I will not be going home.
Yikes. So are you essentially being if we fuck up and we put the wrong person in power, you're I'm gonna stay and be a 70-year-old freedom fighter?
Yes.
That would be interesting.
That exactly.
We'll bring you a special sash or something.
I mean, I'd watch that movie.
Yeah, I would too.
Adalaie the Brave.
Oh no, I myself destroyed this government, so I myself must fix it.
Yeah.
No, it's almost like that was our entire job here to begin with.
Well, Johnny sort of, Mage Commander Johnny walks toward you guys. Well, now that is dealt with, you're all probably weary of your travels. I'll guide you to the living quarters for the day. Food, water, anything you need. And then I have a couple more things to ask, and you probably wish to get yourself acquainted with Katalina, Matthias. So, why don't you all follow me, and I will lead you to some beds.
Nice, an actual bed.
Yeah, you guys have been sleeping on cots and carts, or on the ground for the last couple days. So Donnie leads you up this winding staircase, farther up in the tower to different separate bedrooms that are all luxuriously decorated, soft feather pillows.
I've missed this so much.
Matthias lays down for 10 minutes and then is nope, I can't, and gets back up.
Yeah. A little useless for Matthias, and she also, once she's shown you guys where will be resting for the day, she leads you down to a dining hall type area in the tower, and basically gives you free reign to mess around in the kitchen.
Matthias immediately starts looking around for ingredients for cookies.
There's no chocolate here, so
make baked goods as well.
Well, they have like ground sugar and like cinnamon, right?
They don't have cinnamon.
Do they have eggs?
They do have eggs.
I
They do have
see.
eggs, they do have sugar, and they do have flour.
They have flour. Okay, that's really.
You can make molasses.
And they have butter. So they have like basic baking ingredients, yeah, but they don't have a lot of this, like the specific flavoring stuff that you have is very, very different here.
Do they have like fresh fruits?
Yeah.
They do, but none of them that you recognize.
Can I go
I'm gonna
and
cut
smell
up
the fruits?
I'm gonna cut them up and try different pieces of them.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that too.
So a couple of them, I'll give you some of them.
Do you?
Are you gonna ask me? You already know that I have a list of the flora and fauna. So don't laugh.
God.
This has already been established. One of them is like a dark pink fruit shaped roughly like a teardrop.
Oh my god.
Is this the
It's about
strawberry
It's
equivalent?
about the size of a fist.
Oh, wow.
It's like a
fig.
strawberry-shaped apple, kind of like in shape.
That's a fig.
Yeah.
And you eat it, and it is kind of sour in flavor.
No, not what we're going for. Pushes it to the side.
I have Ezekiel sat beside me on the counter, and we're like trying the fruit together.
Here.
The other one, that is called an apard.
Apart.
The other fruit that you find is called a candrize, and it is an orangish red fruit that is sort of like in size, kind of looks like an orange.
Grapefruit?
Grapefruit.
And it is savory and sweet at the same time.
This one.
And there are cooks wandering around, and just offhandedly, it's like grape. It's like a grape. It's used to make wine.
Oh.
That's so cool.
Wine cookies.
Giant grape.
Wine cookies.
We could
And
make
also
grape
a popular
cupcakes.
kids drink.
Oh,
It's kind of like juice is
Grape
like
juice.
juice when it's not fermented.
We could make grape cupcakes instead of.
Ew.
cupcake.
I like cupcakes a lot.
But grape cupcakes?
Don't diss the
Grape.
grape.
They don't taste like grape.
Nice things.
Yeah,
Candrize
it-
does not taste like grape.
Like sweet and savory cupcakes would be good.
Yeah.
But they don't have like the leavening agents. Like you can't make the cupcakes puffy, so they'd just be like
They don't have
cornbread.
Do we know how to? We know how to make yeast though.
Yeah, but cupcakes
Not
don't
the
use
same
yeast.
thing.
Yeah, there's not enough gluten in like the loose flours you use for cupcakes.
Okay, then cookies it is. And then we can just make them sweet.
You can make tarts.
Tarts.
On one of the, like, you're talking about baking and stuff, so one of the cooks will come over and it's like, oh, well, if you're looking for a treat, and it's like, oh, why don't you try this? And, like, pass over a pastry of some sort with this white creme on top of it.
Matthias is gonna smell it and then let Ezekiel smell it.
Smells kind of like vanilla.
Jane's gonna lean over and smell it too, because she's curious.
Smells kind of like vanilla. If you eat it,
Yes.
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 the hump on top has the consistency of, like, chocolate. But it tastes like vanilla and butterscotch.
What is this?
How do you make this? This
How
is
do you-
amazing.
This
And that is grounded strellis powder mixed with milk.
Mixed with what?
Milk.
No.
To make the cream. And she will, like, there's a can of beans at the side. They're white and pretty small. They're strellis beans. Strellis appears to be this world's allegory for something like chocolate.
Does this mean we
It
can
doesn't
make?
taste like chocolate at all, but it has the same consistency.
Does this mean we can make like vanilla bean frappuccinos for Ezekiel?
Yes.
Yes.
You think my 4-year-old would drink sugary coffee?
No, sugary.
Vanilla bean
vanilla drink.
frappuccinos has no caffeine in it.
It's like
I wouldn't know. I don't drink stuff like that.
It's like a milkshake. It's really good. It's just ice and vanilla and cream.
Okay, go for it. Ezekiel,
Oh.
does that sound good?
She'll
Yes.
go to make one of her best version of a vanilla bean frappuccino for Ezekiel.
Where do we get ice?
Exactly.
Magic. I don't know. Do they have
None of us have ice powers. You have a fire person, not an ice person.
Ashley, do they have a way to cool ice?
Yeah. There is a. There are these blue bins. They're pretty small. Throughout the kitchen that have the symbols of it and like a snowflake on them and a bunch of runes around the corners of them.
Magic.
Magical ice maker.
Pulls it open, sticks hand in.
It's cold.
Is there
And
ice in it?
you open a couple. Some of them don't have anything in them, and they're just used for like storing. Like some of them are used for storing meats or
Magic
cheeses
refrigerator.
or things, and some of them do have ice in them though. So some of them can store.
Okay. Then I'll do that, and I'll like put the ice. I'll like crush it up, because they don't have a blender or anything probably.
Mortar and pestle.
Yeah, so I'll mortar and pestle the ice, and then pour it in and mix the beans up in there, and like shake it all up.
You're attempting to make a Strellis Frappuccino here? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
There's no roll for this, so I'll just let it happen.
This hurts my head. I can already see what happens to it. You just made frozen cream.
That's
And
what
it's
it
very
is.
watery.
So
It's what
we made
happened.
ice cream. We invented ice cream.
Yeah.
Technically, that's not ice cream. You forgot the salt.
It is like the cream powder that's on the pastry without the
Put in
milk.
liquid form.
Oh. It has a weird flavor. That's what I'm gonna go with. It is interesting to the taste. And Strellis, like when it is crushed down, appears to be sticky in texture, so it's like
Ooh.
kind of hard to drink.
It's a
We're
syrup.
making like mochi or something out of this.
Mochi.
If it's like
Oh
sticky,
my
like
god.
This is genius.
So you
crush
guys
it.
Oh my
are spending a
God.
couple times learning some things in the kitchen about the local sweets.
Can we get that cook over here and like write down these recipes with her and try a bunch of stuff?
Sure, and she'll give you some more information since you're clearly more interested in Strellis, the candy. It makes a candy called Strelic, which is literally just a chocolate bar that's white in coloration. It tastes like
White
vanilla
chocolate.
and
Like
butterscotch.
chocolate, but vanilla flavored.
White vanilla and butterscotch.
which are two amazing flavors. So
They are.
yes.
Yeah.
And together they're great.
And it is also used when mixed with like milk and like really finely mixed
Ashley,
to make
Ashley?
a drink on holidays called bright milk, which is really popular with children.
How do you say that word? How do you say that word?
Which one?
Milk.
Milk?
Milk with an I, not an E.
Yeah, milk.
That's what it was. I kept mishearing her earlier when she
You
said
kept saying milk with an E. Milk. That's not the word.
It is milk.
I hate that. I hate pillow.
Technically, it is a word, as it is the name of a goat milk company.
Milk.
So it's goat milk.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they don't have cows.
Oh god.
Oh my gosh. The flavor would be so different then if they don't have cows.
It'd just be creamier.
Yeah.
And it is also used as a syrup in an alcoholic beverage called Sapslaff.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it does. It's like how they used to call alcohol giggle water. So
And the cook will happily answer any and all questions you have about any and all types of food in Althara if you have questions.
More trees. Ask about different types of trees.
we'll ask her about like popular dishes, I guess. That would be easier to know.
And one of them, she'll tell you about like the stir fry that you guys ate when you first came here that has grapevine in it, the sort of dark purplish vegetable. It's harvested from the root of a sharp-leafed plant that has little small white flowers on the top that bloom in the spring. And it's really popular because it doesn't, like, it's somewhat magical, and if you harvest the roots, they don't spoil.
Ooh.
They never go bad. Or at least if they do, kind of like honey, we haven't found at the time. And she'll tell you more about some other things in, like, more higher class desserts, something called a dream rose, which is a flower that is very, very sweet in taste, but usually isn't put in desserts because it's a magical plant and is very rare.
So you just
and instead it's grounded up and used as fuel for sky ships in the City of Fire.
Jeez.
That's cool.
But some nobles like to have it in desserts because it's pretty sweet.
So Jane will ask about, like, so there's an abundance, or like at least a lot of flora and fauna that are like magical.
And the couple nod. Yeah, most things have some minor magical properties in them.
Ooh.
Are these native to this country or
Continent.
Well, Dream Rose is found in the Grove, so yes. Strelish and Greyvine, are, as well as Candras, are popular in agricultural sense to grow and sell.
do you know about any medicinal herbs?
I'm afraid I'm not much of a healer. I'm a cook.
I guess where we come from, we use them in cooking as well.
There aren't many medicinal plants that you would also use in cooking here. I mean, I have some plants that we harvest nearby, but most of the powerful healing herbs are found in the Grove, and are only bought and sold from there.
Good to know. Thank you.
Do you guys have like minty flavors?
I don't know what that word means.
I will pull out like a piece of spearmint gum.
That's really strong. No, nothing like this, I'm afraid. And she spits it out.
Maybe like a weaker version of it, kinda?
I mean, we have bitter flavors, yes. Things with bitter flavors.
It's supposed to smell like really fresh.
Fresh. No.
Yeah.
Not in our food, I'm afraid. Perhaps you up in Andrathis and Belinaran, they have different things that grow there.
Is this suddenly going to become like a culinary adventure where we travel the world,
Yes.
tasting all these delicious dishes?
Oh my gosh.
Fine with that.
We certainly can. We can turn this into a cooking show.
Yeah.
Yes.
She'll turn to the cook and be like, hey, can you maybe teach us how to make a dessert or something?
Yeah, and she'll teach you how to make Strellis cookies.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Which is vanilla and butterscotch mixed cookies.
Ezekiel is there helping.
I.e. taste testing everything that is put in front of him, clearly.
Jane will give him...
Don't eat that! That is a raw egg!
Jane will sneak him some of the batter and let him lick the spoon off.
It does taste good because it's cookie dough.
You don't always taste good.
You should put salt in front of him.
In any universe, cookie dough tastes good.
Especially by itself, not cooked.
As long as you don't eat it with eggs. The salmonella.
You're more likely to get E. coli from the raw flour.
True.
So bake your flour and then make cookie dough just to eat.
Yep, that's right.
Well, while you guys are exploring the kitchen, how long do you spend in there? The
All
real
day.
question is how long do you spend avoiding the Fae and your group?
All
As
day.
long as possible.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't seek them out, they don't find you. So, but eventually Johnny does come find you. I see you have busied yourself.
Everyone's covered in flour.
Maddie grabs the
pan- the
hot
But
pan without.
if you wouldn't mind, if you find yourself a little more well rested now, I would appreciate if you would follow me.
All right.
Jane knocks the flower off her apron.
And she, if you guys follow her, she'll lead you out of the tower and around the back of it, down a set of stairs to this flat open area that is immediately recognizable as a training ground.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ezekiel still with us?
Sure.
Okay.
You don't leave him.
No.
I'm going to assume he's with you unless you say something.
All right.
And he takes his little wooden sword and goes smacks some training dummies. With it looking very entertained.
I totally forgot about the sword.
And another knight comes over and takes out a similar sparring board and fake spars with him.
Aww.
Mattie takes out his phone and with the little battery he has left, takes pictures and then shuts it down and puts it back in his pocket.
Jane will put her hand over her arms yeah, that's true parenting right there.
Well, from what I heard from Aron, you think another group of Kingmakers was attacked, and you have already faced danger. Well, you've been in Althara, so I wanted to see what you were capable of, so might ascertain what you might need to be informed of, what you've already had encounters with.
I can handle myself.
I think I'm...
Well, according to what I've overheard, you use magic similar to the Fae, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, and she walks over to a rack and takes out, a spear, what it looks like, and it has a tip of a blue material. It looks similar to Aron's sword. One of you try to cast one of your magic spells at me, right now.
Does anyone have something that can do that?
Magic spell?
I mean...
breathe fire at her.
Do you do that immediately?
I'm gonna turn to the others and point to myself.
Yeah.
There.
Okay, breathe fire at her.
And immediately as it leaves your mouth, she raises the spear, and you feel it. You suddenly can't stop breathing fire. It is drawn out of you and into the tip of the spear, and it swirls around it, and she holds it in the air, and she sends it at one of the dummies. And your fire breathing is cut off. These weapons, Blueheart, if your magic is similar to that of the Fae, can intercept and interrupt your magic. And you've never had any dealings with them before, clearly.
We've seen them around.
Yeah.
Yes, but Aron has not activated his on you.
Clearly.
So?
Some of us...
What about some of us who do not have projectile magic?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Blueheart can protect anyone that carries it. And it can be just as dangerous if you use emotional manipulation magic or mental manipulative magic.
How does that work?
Well, why don't you try it?
I try to go into her mind then.
Okay, I need you to face danger.
Okay. 10.
Okay. You don't take a status from it, but you can't. You feel like if you had delved, you would have hurt yourself.
Jeez. How odd.
So they took damage from attacking her when she had the spear?
It basically seems like Blueheart is a counteractive material to the type of magic that you guys use.
Okay.
Wait, what if someone was to throw
How
a
do we
glowing
counteract
projectile at them?
Oh, you could try throwing your magic projectiles as well. She wants you to test
I'm curious what it would
what
do.
Blueheart does to each of your magic. That's why she brought you down here.
Adalaie
And
turns
make it like a
into
little-
her chimera. She just lost her chimera.
Everyone reels back in abject horror.
And make it a little
Mara Adalaie
like
smiles.
stick and just vaguely throw it in her general direction.
Jane shudders at the human blob that is the face of the chimera.
I mean, one, Jane is just a super well-trained knight, so she raises the spear and blocks it, the projectile coming her way.
Oh,
but
so you don't
it
like.
touches the blue heart and it shatters.
That's so cool. Sorry, Aron, but
What
like
if
that
the
was
actual
awesome.
thing isn't magic? Like I just pick up a stone from the ground and throw it at her.
I mean, she blocks it. It doesn't shatter anything or has no reaction. She just has really good reflexes. That.
Adalaie's gonna turn into a llama.
What is that?
Try to attack her as Kim.
That is what's called a llama, and sometimes they wear hats.
That's the only description you need.
Murder
for a
people.
llama. It's an animal that wears hats occasionally.
Carl, that kills people.
And then sometimes the llamas with hats kill people.
Really?
And then I stabbed him in the back 37 times.
Carl, that kills people.
Be very afraid. That is one of the most terrifying creatures on our planet.
Oh yeah,
Bah.
the top predator. Even worse. than
Right
humans.
behind the hippopotamus, which actually are scary. Anyone who doesn't think so can fight me.
Do you
And,
all have any formal combat training?
Yes, in fact I do.
Yes.
Just a little bit.
Adalaie lifts her move up.
Oh, the llama has formal combat training. That's good to know.
I can
very,
throw
very
things.
afraid. You very afraid.
Not really formal combat training.
I can throw pointy things really well.
That's better.
I really haven't tried my magic yet. It's not combat magic per se, but
As long as I'm holding Blueheart, most magics won't work on me. Or
kinds
anyone
will?
who holds activated Blueheart.
Oh, how would you suggest
asking
we
if
fight
I should,
against
like,
enemies
try.
with Blueheart?
That's why I'm asking if you have formal training. I'm going to hopefully equip you with some weaponry that will help you
Oh no.
fight without your magic
I'm gonna try and
if you're faced with it.
touch the spear and see what it does to my
Roll face
Lovely.
danger.
Oh,
oh no.
Oh, I almost rolled a d20. Where's my d12? Look at this. 11.
Is this the same D12 that we established only rolls 11s?
No, different d12.
These
That
are
one was this
D12.
one. I'm using this one.
Okay, it crackles as you draw near to it, and she pulls the spear away. If you are made of magic, I would perhaps not touch something that eats it.
oh.
That's crazy. I can't even touch those.
The squirrels ate your light up. I wonder if
But those made me feel tingly. Did this make me feel tingly like that?
No, you get the feeling if you touched it, it would have hurt.
I was just like pins and needles. That was gonna be actual pain.
So, that's technically all kryptonite.
Are we Superman here?
Yes.
Are
If
we
that
all
wasn't clear before,
Superman? We're
we are all
just super
Superman and
underpowered
Superwoman.
Superman.
As you're saying that, Mattie,
Yes.
a butterfly lands on your face.
I smack myself across the face.
Fantastic. You don't hit the butterfly, but you do hit yourself, and Cades transforms back into a person and laughs at you. Laugh it. You're so easy. Oh my god. Oof.
I look back to make sure Ezekiel's engaged in something, not looking.
That was hilarious. Yes.
And then I tackle Cades.
He turns into a butterfly again when you move toward him.
Oh.
Apparently Blueheart isn't your only, what did you call it, kryptonite?
Yes, kryptonite.
Wait till
We're
there's a
super,
butterfly
super
that has
underpowered
stuff, and she's
Superman.
just-
You
might
are.
as well just forfeit.
We are all super, super underpowered Superman.
Anyway, Cades transforms back into a human and pats you on the back uncomfortably hard and goes, "You need to stop avoiding Katalina."
Do I?
Yes, go talk to her now.
Okay.
I will
And
follow
he
you
leaves.
as a butterfly the rest of your day if you don't.
I just didn't think she wanted to talk to me. Her day has been stressful. It's not my job to push that. Is it my job? I don't
She
know
would
my
be
job.
traveling with you for like the rest of her your more likely life. So
Best you get to know her.
Okay. I'm gonna be like, Ezekiel, I'm going inside. Do you want to come with me, or do you want to stay out here with Miss Adalaie?
and he's so caught up in sword fighting.
I'm gonna turn Adalaie.
And now a group of knight trainees are around him, like literally teaching him how to hold a sword, right?
Adalaie, can you keep an eye on him?
Yep.
Okay. And then
Wait,
I'm gonna
did
go
they
inside and find
resolve-
Katalina.
Did they resolve this?
No, I can't. I cannot like Adalaie and still trust her with my son. She's proven to genuinely care about his well-being.
It's not in the candy giving way.
But you go off by yourself to go seek out Katalina then.
I want to. What's the guard's name that brought us out here again?
Johnny.
I'm gonna turn to Johnny in my llama form and ask if he can teach me how to fight in a llama form.
She looks at you quizzically and is like, I am not a llama, and I cannot teach you how to fight in something I am not.
Just stab someone 37 times.
No,
I
but
know
you
llamas
think there's a
do.
way I can fight in this form? Because I really like this form. I haven't tried this one before.
Llamas have the spitting power of a god.
I don't know anything about it.
Can you teach me to fight with my mouth?
Wait. But if you can transform yourself into anything, you could be like an armored llama with sharp teeth.
Yes.
Into animals.
You genetic mutation?
I mean, sometimes familiars with more, like, horse-like forms will take weapons attached to, like, hooves or a dagger they can carry in their mouth.
Ooh.
Most of those weapons are Blueheart, so we'd see about getting you equipped with one. At the very least, give you a dagger that you could hold in any form. Of course, you'll have to be careful about, all of you will have to be careful about not touching the bladed part of it, as it will hurt you doubly more than if you just cut yourself on a regular sword.
Fair enough. Adalaie turns back into a human.
And anyone who's still there can get a weapon with a bit of Blueheart attached to it.
Ooh. Yay.
I'll ask for one for Mattie.
Okay.
Can I do that?
What weapons would you all prefer?
Adalaie wants knives.
Okay, so he'll give you a set of 2 daggers.
Okay.
They're a little longer and the handles are a little thicker because these are clearly like the ones that familiars would use.
Mm-hmm.
Like grab in your mouth to fight, so.
Jane will assume Mattie wants a javelin if she's taking one for him.
Okay.
And I think she would like a staff.
Okay. It's a little trickier to do staffs, but the ends will just be Blueheart then. I manage that. What does Emma want?
I assume a bow wouldn't exactly work because the arrows would have to be tipped.
I mean, they have tipped arrows.
That would be.
I can
then
give
I'll
you a
take
set of
bow.
12.
Yay. I'll just have to connect the arrows back
Yeah,
every single
you
time.
just have to collect the arrows back every single time. This isn't D&D. We'll just be like, how many arrows do you have? Infinite amount? No, you have 12.
Good to know.
And what does Aron want a weapon?
Yes, he would like a weapon
What would you like?
that could easily destroy him if you like drop it on his foot or something.
Yeah, these give off the feeling of danger to you all.
I'll take like a long sword, so it's the extra dangerous that is furthest away from me.
Yeah, and they also give you a sheath with weapons that can be sheathed, so like the daggers come with sheaths.
Can I have a dagger as well? Because
Okay.
I'd like something I can do more damage with, I guess.
Yeah, you can have a dagger. So these are all going to be story tags. Blueheart weapon. If you want to add that, it should be on the first page of your character sheet. Just story tag section. I think the first card.
Yeah.
I know how City of Mist character sheets are set up. I remember that.
Where?
Adalaie's gonna look
first page of your character sheet, where you wrote down your name, your character's name.
It's at the bottom.
There's a story tag
Oh,
section.
there it is. Did you look at that? Lucky Day is gone now, right?
Yeah, you're out of Mouse's range.
That sucks.
If you ever go back into Mouse's range, it will come back.
To us, he said it would stretch the continent. No.
It said it would stretch the forest. Which it did. It was with you when you were in the forest. Or nearby the forest.
I was gonna look over at Jane and see that she has a dagger as well. Do you know how to use that?
Yeah. Of course I do. Why would I pick a weapon I don't know how to use?
I did that.
Yeah, and Johnny is going to give you how to shoot a bow and arrow boot camp.
Nice. I can actually learn.
Are you sure you know how to
You're
use
kinda bad at
that
it.
properly?
But you're kind of bad at it. But I can't invoke a weakness about that. So you're going to be fine.
Looks at Emma in appointment. You're blaming me of cheating, and you pick a weapon you don't know how to use.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't know how to use any of these weapons.
You don't? I thought you took a martial arts course.
Yes, martial arts, not sword fighting.
Fair.
And Johnny will wave over a younger looking knight's recruit. It looks like a girl with short brown hair and these super big, almost comically so glasses, who is being followed by probably a familiar, because it has the red string around its neck with the little symbol on it. But it looks like a tiny dragon curled around her neck, like made completely of bright, shiny crystal.
Rape and topaz. Oh my god.
Those are D&D pseudo dragons for our audiences.
Deja vu.
And she will walk over. This is my apprentice Ava, and she uses a bow and arrow for her weapon, so she can teach you how to use that a little better. And the little dragon, pokes its head up. And I'm March, her familiar. Don't forget it.
Nice to meet you, March.
I'm May.
And completely seriously, he will go, nice to meet you, May.
We will get that.
I think they don't have your month system
We
here.
We know.
Oh, that's right. I have them written down somewhere.
I'm Jane.
Somewhere.
Pleasure to meet you, Jane. And assuming everyone here has introduced themselves, you guys have a training montage, and Johnny and Ava go over basic weapon safety.
Woo! Nice.
Mattie.
I go look for Katalina.
You find her pretty easily. She's still in the tower. Chit-chatting with Adalaie.
Heyo.
Hi. You two, I'm gonna leave you two to this conversation. And Adalaie gets up. Hey, don't you? Hello.
Wow.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. First frost,
Um,
Redland,
first of all- Ouch.
I'm bad at conversating. He
So
knows
am
that.
I.
He just abandoned me to an awkward conversation. We are not friends anymore, Adalaie.
I was just threatened into an awkward conversation, so
Do you think Cades and Adalaie are planning together?
there's no way. There's
They
no
can't.
way.
They can't. They hate each other.
Absolutely no way.
They hate each other.
But
right?
maybe. Well, what if they are?
We're screwed. If they are, we're screwed.
Yikes. Yikes.
Adalaie is a tactician, and Cage is just a conniving little shit. So we're screwed.
And together they're unstoppable.
God,
They hate each other.
greats above.
So, first of all, I wanted to apologize.
For?
This is probably not a predicament that you particularly want to be in. And for that, I am apologizing. Although it is not my fault you're in this predicament, I am the one that is assisting and perpetuating the,
I'm just gonna...
the fact that you're trapped by magic, which really sucks.
Yeah, yes.
So, I'm sorry.
You seem cool, so don't apologize yet.
I'm still apologizing. You shouldn't, it's not fair that you're like, well, this new person that seems to have a literal grasp on your soul, your magic, how does that work?
I mean, my soul is magic, so same.
Both of
both of those things.
Yeah, both of those things. This new person that has a grasp on my literal soul, the being inside me, a being, has full control over me, seems pretty cool, so I don't want them to apologize yet. That is not exactly how it should work.
But, I mean, you did technically save my existence as I know it.
Yeah, but I feel
so
like...
I think that balances out because I like living.
Okay.
I may have had a very, very bad run of luck when it comes to my past keepers.
Ooh.
But that does not mean that I hate life.
Okay. And then I also am apologizing because apparently we have a little bit of a target on our back, and so that immediately puts one on yours, which also kind of sucks.
Yeah, that does suck, but I don't think there's anything you can do about that either.
No, but I can apologize for it because I didn't really feel bad about it.
Can we shift the conversation topic to if I say I accept your apology?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you accept my apology?
I just said I accept your apology.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
But, so you're gonna be, how does this work? You're gonna be traveling with us?
Yes.
You have to?
I have to. There's like a distance thing. I can't stray super far away from you.
Didn't know that one. I probably did, but didn't think about it. But you're gonna get to see a lot of pretty places that you've probably already seen in your very long existence.
I mean, I'm not an particularly old fae. I'm like 600, so that's pretty young for a fae.
Then I guess you're gonna get to see a lot of really beautiful places.
I'll stick with the tourism angle. I'll be happy with that.
Yeah. And this is kind of just the line I draw with everybody. You can do whatever the hell you want, as long as my son is not in the crossfire.
I mean, that seems reasonable. I guess I should... You don't know anything, right? Adalaie was explaining to me that you're like from another dimension, world, plane of existence.
Yeah. Do you guys seriously not have llamas?
I don't know what they are.
Okay. Or mint? That's so weird.
We have mint. What are you talking about? Well, I mean, they have mint, but...
Oh, and you didn't share that with the... Mint is the best thing ever. Everyone should have it.
I mean, talk to Adalaie about that. He grows plants. He could
free access to mint.
He created mint, so I don't know what you're on about. He can create plant life, and like new plant life too. Whatever's in his little mind, he can make.
Maybe he can create chocolate beans.
Mattie also gets that thought and is like,
if I give him some Hubba Bubba bubblegum, I wonder if he can make a bubblegum tree.
give him like $20. Can you actually make this grow on a tree?
I guess I should sort of explain, like, what I was leading to, like, I should probably explain what being, like, a familiar kind of means, because I doubt you've been traveling with Cade. I doubt he's laid out rules, and I doubt Adalaie has laid out rules either. They're not exactly super talkative about super important things.
No, it doesn't seem like it. It seems like they both like glossing over that stuff.
Yes. Okay, and how to explain? Well, you have
He pulls out the sketchbook.
to my magic reserves, basically. At the simplest level, that is it. You can use them to aid you. Anything involving metal, generally. So if you want to throw a sword at your enemy better, I can do that. Some of my better keepers have just used me to adjust trajectory on like arrowheads that are made of steel. And
I feel so bad that I find that so cool. Sorry.
I mean, I find it cool, thank you very much.
But
I used to have a set of like 12 silver and gold swords. I'd make them fly around. I'd use them as wings. I'd use them as wings. It was cool.
My whole thing is I throw pointy objects really well.
We're gonna get along great. I also know you can set things on fire.
I can. And I can also scream inhumanly loud. Like enough to like cause like physical harm to things.
Oh, now I'm thinking about metal that like you can reverberate off of it.
Mm.
I'm sorry, I like fighting, so that's kind of my whole thing.
My best throw ever, because I competed in this before I got sent here. Unfortunately, it was not on the record, but it went through the windshield of a car, like over like a whole field. I threw the javelin, because the whole point of this sport I compete in is I'm supposed to throw it, and it's supposed to go really far.
I mean, I know about the game. We have games here.
Okay, yeah. So I threw it, and then when it was midair, I used the scream to like...
You are... Oh my god.
And it like went over the whole field, and then through the front windshield, then the back windshield of a car.
If we combine your screaming and throwing abilities with my mental manipulation abilities, how far could we get a stick?
Unstoppable.
So far.
We need to go somewhere where I couldn't hurt other people because it's really loud. It's not good for eardrums.
Could throw it at the ocean. I can sense metal, so I could tell you the exact distance. We wouldn't even need to retrieve it.
Where is the closest ocean?
Not very close. We're sort of smack down in the middle of Althara at the moment, but...
Or large body of water.
I mean, there's like 2 lakes on Althara, and that City of Fire is, I think, farther away than the nearest ocean. But we're gonna do that.
Yes.
We're gonna do that.
I'm all for it.
That is something.
That sounds awesome.
That sounds real cool, honestly. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Yeah. Because, like, your abilities probably have an extent. They can only do so much. But paired with my abilities, they can also only do so much. It's like...
Yeah.
You know.
And I have a range of that I can do, like close manipulation and, like, good at it, manipulation, but I can throw things outside of my range a decent distance. So you throw it to the edge of my range, I take from there, and I throw it farther. My power.
Ultimate range fighting team right here.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, so I've been thinking about it, and I need to discuss it with the others, but I think it's only fair that, like, if we get to the point where we're dividing up money, you get a fair share of that.
I'm gonna be honest with you, the only use I have for coinage is the fact that I could turn them into... manipulate them, really.
Or you could use them to buy, like, pretty weapons.
You have a point.
I
never thought about that, because generally I can just pull metals out of the earth and make them look like how I want.
But you can support the craftsmen that make things you appreciate.
I could, and I've always wanted, like, a weapon that's mostly metal, but on the outside is Blueheart. So I can control its trajectory, and it's just a Blueheart projectile.
Like a spear, where the back half is metal, and the front half is Blueheart.
I was thinking more of like a sword. I'm more of a sword fighter. That's what I was trained in, so...
So get you a sword, and get me a spear. And then this would be awesome.
We'll be unstoppable.
Yes.
Dalvia was worried that we weren't going to get along, but now I'm just worried that we're going to conquer all of Althara, so...
All of Althara! No, I don't actually...
That's technically your goal, right? Put a new leader in charge of Althara, conquer Althara.
It's a weird, twist on this. I feel like we're just committing a coup, but...
A very legal coup.
I mean, pretty much everyone in leadership power has had hundreds of years to grapple with the fact that they're not going to be in leadership power once the prophecy comes to pass.
Yeah, it's still weird, though.
Don't say it's not. Shauna had a lot of last moments, and that was what she chose to do with it, so I guess good on her.
Yeah. Okay. We're here, and this is the only way we can get home. Speaking of that, if I leave this plane, what happens to you?
Well, hopefully some other keep the finds me, and we do the bonding ritual so I don't die, because I'm currently sapping off of your magic to stay alive.
But, also speaking of that, is there a way to break this without killing or hurting one of us?
Uh-huh.
There is?
I mean, to transfer the bond to another person, yeah.
No, I mean, just...
There's no way to break the binding.
At all?
No, even if without a keeper, even if your keeper dies and you're left stranded in the middle of nowhere, let's say. That's happened to me before. It's one of the better ones, too. Just got sick and died. It was a real downer. Anyway, dies, leaves you in the middle of nowhere. You're still a familiar. You don't go back to being a fae. The basic rules apply. You can't hurt humans or Savannah. You have a compulsion to seek out the nearest human. And your direct orders are to go back, at least in the Empire's Fae, are to go back to Cloudvale.
That makes me sick in my stomach. Actually physically ill in my stomach.
You can't get released.
There's no way to break the binding?
Not one that they've discovered.
Okay, so we'll just have to discover one?
That's real optimistic, but let's go for it.
I'm really trying to look at this with an optimistic point of view.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah. The optimism is fading really, really quickly. I'm not getting along with my friends.
Welcome to Althara.
Yeah.
A place that kills optimism.
Oh, don't worry. Our planet does that too. I just thought this would be better. That optimism came back when I left our world.
Oh, no. It's just here to kick you in the gut then.
Yeah. Mental health isn't doing so great. But, that's not new, so... What else? Big things.
Tell me about it.
Oh. At least we're in the same boat there. I can absolutely see why you're in that boat. For me, it's dumb shit.
I don't know enough about your shit to know whether or not I can call it dumb.
Don't worry, you'll get to experience plenty of it traveling with us. Because everyone hates me right now.
Dalvia told me in the one day he was traveling with you all, there's been more drama than in his almost entire time living with the royal family of Althara, of Evra, so I mean...
There are some really weird dynamics, and I'm not doing my part to make them better. I'm making them worse while trying to make them better.
I can't talk. I'll probably say some things that I don't mean. Eventually.
Everybody does that, and no one should hold it. I mean, you hold it against you a little bit because you're like, hey, that was some dumb shit you said, and that hurt my feelings. But I think that's what.
But that's more of I have a terminal case of dumbassery. You too?
Yeah.
High fives.
High fives.
Dumbassery twins.
I swear, these guys were made for each other.
Yeah.
And we drift away from that back to the training ground.
I'm curious.
Hey, I'm getting better. I actually hit the
Did you already
this time.
Did
Like
you
on the
already,
leg.
have
Yeah,
what
on the
kind
leg,
of
yes.
day it was gonna be, like, planned out?
Yeah. Katalina, before I knew which one of you would... Yeah. I had her personality planned out. And her
Nice.
backstory. And everything I need to know about her. It's a page long. It's fine.
I feel like I need to have a tag that's just chaotic dumbassery.
Again, when you get an improvement, that tag is available for you.
Yeah. I put it as I wrote a note on the back of my card.
As what improvements? Yeah.
So, do we run into Matthias as they're coming back?
Do you come back this time with Katalina in tow?
I invite her to come with, and then I go
watch
back.
you guys make a fool of yourselves in front of a bunch of trained knights? Absolutely.
Well, when you put it like that...
And as we say that, we will pull back from our heroes.
So you made sentence to
to-
it. Oh, you
To a little earlier in the day. Not very long ago. Where we find Cades sitting on top of the tower. Cades felt like he was falling. Like someone had taken the floor out from under him. First Kingmakers, then Adalaie, and now Katalina are familiar to one of them. One side of his brain was shouting, she would have died if no one had taken her. Faded. There was no time to sit and debate the matter, and all that really mattered was her safety, right? That's what Adalaie thought, and Katalina seems cool with it now, so maybe he should just drop the matter entirely. But the other side of his brain coldly repeated their words. Wouldn't it be great if Ezekiel had a full-time sitter? A pause and a nod. That would be great, yeah. Yeah, I'll do it. The Kingmakers talked a big game of their world and their morals, and yet each one seemed more hypocritical than the last. Each justification weak, as all he could hear was, wouldn't it be neat to order and own another living being, someone who wouldn't be able to say no? And he knew that no matter the horror after the fact, between morals and his son, Matthias would break before he allowed his son even one glimpse of danger, even at the cost of Katalina. It was a thing that most living creatures did, prioritize family and familiarity over what was right. Anything can be categorized and justified under the guise of protecting family, after all. And to them, that would be all the moral high ground they needed to commit some of Althara's worst crimes. He should know. He's witnessed almost every one of them of a similar trend in the past. He's seen countless keepers go, I'm different than the rest. I'll treat them right. Most of them didn't last a week before falling into moral depravity. And even if they didn't, what did it matter? A mansion could still be a cage, and a well-treated slave is still just that, a slave. It was the same argument he'd used with Adalaie in the past. Salbana are living and feeling creatures. They should be free to live as they please, whatever they please, no matter how well you think they're treating them. But he could feel his opinions be disregarded then, as soon as they left his mouth. So well, it really didn't matter what he did then, did it? That was centuries ago. And now Cades felt sick as he stood on top of one of Ironhaven's many towers, gathering his thoughts. Distraught, little butterfly? He jumped about a foot in the air as a voice slid its way into his ears. I didn't mean to scare you, old friend. Just checking in is all. One of Sylvis's spiders clung to the wall. I'm not one of your little spies, Sylvis. No, perhaps not. But you could be if you wanted to. For the last time, no, and stop asking. Fine. Very well, whatever suits you, Wanderer. But I figured you could use some company before you made your head explode with any more of your moral quandaries. You can read my thoughts all the way from out there. No, you're just predictable in your depressive slumps. So relax. People sucks, everything sucks. Some come down to our level, or learn to live with it. Not everyone can be an uncorruptible idiot of an empath. His laugh sounded pathetic to his own ears. Always know how to cheer a guy up, also. His laugh sounded pathetic. He knew it. You shouldn't waste your time on them, Wanderer. They've betrayed your implicit trust. You should leave. You're just saying that because me being here interrupts your perfect little plot. Yes, you have got me there. Doesn't mean I'm completely wrong, though. I have to be here still. Sorry, I'm not going to leave them with Dalavier of all the Fae. No, I suppose not, huh? And even if they've started slipping down the same old slope, I can help them, you know, I can... Great above, Butterfly, no, I don't know. If they tripped this early over something this easy, they're goners. What are they gonna do with Labyrinth? With an Oricar? With me? Cade slumped. I'm not just gonna give up on Althara because of one mistake, so... They need someone who actually knows the answer to their questions and won't answer with lies and half-truths. That seems a bit hypocritical coming from you right now, don't you think? Maybe, but it's true. I'm not leaving Sylvis. Also, he trailed off. What is it, little but... He crushed the spider. Sylvis had planned this whole encounter, which meant this town had one, if not more, of his spies in it. Sylvis wanted the Kingmakers to be villains to him. Why? Cade's grit his teeth. He'd fix this somehow. Maybe he'd lost the moral battle here in wanting them to make their own decisions, stand on their own 2 feet. But he couldn't afford to lose the war. He flew back down. The least he could do now was get a little revenge and all, right? It's above. Mattie was far too easy, he thought as he turned into a butterfly and flew back down, heart heavier than it had been in quite a long time. And with that, we end episode 10 of Kingmakers, Future. I've been your Master of Ceremonies, and we will see you all next time.